Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. I have a fun project to share with you, and it's using probably one of my favorite die sets. I say that every time. This is from a Spellbinders collection called the Dancin Christmas Collection. This is the Dancin Figgy pudding. I want to say pudding, but it's pudding. Isn't it so cute? I love figgy puddings, but you put a face on it and it makes it super adorable. This has a kinetic motion where the feet can go back and forth, so it makes it extra cute. But isn't this figgy pudding just adorable? I just think it's super fun and super easy to put together. It's large enough too to where you can make probably a gift tag if you wanted, but I just think it's adorable. We're going to create a card with this. And I also want to mention that later on, if not towards the end of the month, but maybe I want to squeeze in another project. We're going to use the Dancin Gingerbread. I love figgy pudding and gingerbread for Christmas. This die set here can create the same kinetic motion where the Dancin Gingerbread feet will go side to side. And you can create a boy or a girl gingerbread or both. How cute are those? I don't know what it is about food dyes, but especially cute food dyes with faces. I just fall in love with them. We're going to quit jibber jabbering and jump in and do some die cutting. I have some very bright colors to create my figgy pudding. Now for the legs here, we're using, all these are Spellbinders Color Essential cardstocks, and I'm going to name them off in case you guys have them, but I have Timber. We're going to die cut out the feet and the arms, and I'm going to do this twice. Although I'm only going to make one figgy pudding, that's a kind of a tongue twister. Although I'm only going to make one, I'll make another one off camera. We're going to put two on a card. Okay, so feet and hands with Timber. And then we have a scarf here. I'm going to die cut this out with Fruit Punch. And then there are stripes for the scarf. I'm going to die cut that out with Persimmon. We have the holly leaves. We're going to die cut that out with Peridot. The holly berries. I'm actually going to use Fruit Punch once more. For the body of my figgy pudding, I'm going to use Dune cardstock. I think if you have craft cardstock, that would work out great. And I'm going to bring in another piece of white cardstock because there is frosting or drizzle for our figgy pudding. And then we have the arms and the feet. And I'm going to die cut that out with the pink cardstock also, the Fruit Punch. And with this one, I'm going to use for my greeting, my sentiment. Okay, but we're not going to do that just yet, so I'll put that off to the side. I'm going to die cut everything out. Okay, everything is die cut out. Didn't take no time at all. Not too many dies in this set. I'm going to be bringing in my Distress Oxide ink. This is ground espresso. And I'm going to be using my blending brush here. And we're going to toasty up our figgy pudding. I'm not worried about the top because our frosting is going to cover that. We have toasty edges on our figgy pudding. And then now we're going to assemble. Now, I'm going to show you a shortcut because the eyes die cut out and so do the cheeks. Here's a shortcut. First, I'm going to flip this over using my glue. I'm going to add some glue to the left, to the right, in the middle of the cheeks. Let me zoom in. And then I'm going to take some pink cardstock. This is pink sand. It's lighter than our Fruit Punch. It's just a strip. I'm going to add that over the cheeks. And of course, if you wanted to die cut out the pink, you could. But so we have some pink cheeks here. For the eyes, we're going to go double duty. I'm going to bring in my Spellbinders black foam squares. And I'm using black because if I use the black over the eyes, I'm going to show you. I can pop up this figgy pudding. I should actually, hang on, let me scoot this over. So we have black foam squares behind the eyes, and when you flip it over, not only do you pop it up, but you cover that. Now these are sticky, so if I put my hand over it, it will be sticky. but to prevent it from sticking, you can always go over it with glossy accents. We're going to continue. I'm going to add some glue over the top, and then I'm going to add our icing. I just think that's cute on its own. Now what we're going to do is add our mittens and our boots. So I'm going to add some glue over the existing one on the brown cardstock. I'm going to bring in, let me grab my tool here. I'm going to add my boots just right over the existing one. Our mittens we'll add. Wonderful. And that's all there is to that. These are the berries for our holly, so we might as well add our berries to our holly leaves. We'll go ahead and, there's a section on here so you know exactly where to put it. They will be overlapping on here. So we have some pink berries on our holly leaves, and that is good to go. Okay, let's go ahead and add our arms and our feet. So I'll add some glue here. And I mentioned we're not gonna dance today. I'm just gonna, since we're having two on a card, it's a little bit harder to make it dance. So I'm gonna alter this a little bit. We're gonna add our other hand. Just tack it down. The hands can go really anywhere. And then I'm going to use my scissors. I'm going to trim off the top portion where we would dance. And I'm going to add some glue behind here. And I'm going to tuck this as far up to the foam tape as I can. And then we have a cute, adorable, wouldn't that just make the cutest little tag on a gift? Yeah, I just think that's so sweet. That would just make an adorable tag. Okay, we're going to add a scarf to do that. We have this piece and this piece. We're going to add glue. And then on this one, we're going to start from the bottom because that's where the fringe is. And we'll skip one and add some glue. And then what we can do is go ahead and layer our stripes on our scarf here. You can see this one has a little bit of fringe. This one might be a little bit more tricky, but if you follow along the debossed area, it will line up perfectly like a puzzle piece. We will add our last piece. And our scarf is good to go. We're having a dreary day today, so I'm using my artificial light. So my artificial light is casting a little bit of shadow in here, so I apologize for that. But the vibrancy of this cute little figgy pudding is super fun. We're going to add our scarf. So I put a little glue over here. We're going to take our scarf and I'm going to layer it just above the bottom. It gets cuter, isn't that so sweet? Just when you thought you couldn't get any cuter, it gets cuter. And then you have the tail part of the scarf. So we added the tail of our scarf. You could actually create two of those if you wanted. And that is super duper adorable. Okay, we're almost done. I do want to add some detail. I'm using my white gel pen and I'm going to add some stripes to the stripes. We're going to create a little bit of a printed pattern. I'm going to bring back my glue, and we're going to add our holly berry and leaves at the very top. And we are just about done. I think I'm going to take my white gel pen and I'm going to add some white detail to the very cuff of my mitten here, and also to the cuff of my boots. So we have a little extra detail. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in some Spellbinders Color Essential Gems. These are pink. I'm going to add some of the larger, well, I'm going to add some pink gems over our holly. And I'm going to add a little more sparkle, but I'll do that after we have this on our card base. Speaking of our card base, we're going to put this off to the side. For my background, I'm bringing in the Color Block Slimline Edge die set. I think this is on sale right now, but I like the scalloped edge. The other side is a pinked edge. I'm going to take some white cardstock and I'm going to die cut out a scalloped edge. There's my scalloped edge, and then I have a 1-inch strip of the Peridot cardstock. We're going to go ahead and adhere our scallop strip right at the border line here. We're going to evenly space it as best as we can. And I'm not going to worry about trimming off the edges because we're going to put this on another panel. For my background, I'm bringing in a A2 panel. This is Spellbinders Waterfall cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. Since our figgy puddings are pretty big, I'm going to create a landscape style card. And I'm going to create a little bit of something in the background. I just didn't want this plain. I didn't want to emboss it because I want my figgy puddings to stand out. So I'm using my this is my Pie Perfection picnic checkerboard stencil. Spellbinder still has this. I think this is a fabulous stencil. I have a little bit of PIXIE spray still behind it. So what I'm going to do is just add this to the front of my card. I want to kind of evenly space it. I'm going to bring in my blue ink into my blending brush, and I'm going to just add a little bit of color to a few sections around the stencil. I don't want too much, just a little bit, because I'm going to put my sentiment on here and I don't want my sentiment to get lost. So just maybe in a triangle pattern like this, I added color. And I did use, instead of using a teal, I wanted a blue. And you can see just how subtle it is. I think that's going to work out great because we're going to actually put our sentiment right here. I'm going to use a sentiment from the Spellbinders GNOME Drive sentiments. I'm looking for a blocked letter that will fit up here in this corner. And this one has the sentiments for all occasions, and I really like the Merry Christmas. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to place it in this top left corner, and I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner, and then I'm going to go over this with my white embossing powder. I'll melt it and I'll be right back. So there we have our Merry Christmas. I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to use my tape runner and we're going to adhere this to the front of our card base. And it's going to cover the entire card base. And then I'll take our scallop strip. We're going to add this to the very bottom. If we have any overhanging, I'm going to trim off. So this is the one that we made together, and then this one is one I made off camera. I did the same thing. I just put the holly on the other side, and instead of doing stripes, I went ahead and did polka dots. We're going to go ahead and remove the release paper. And then we are going to put one just below the sentiment, one a little higher for a little playful look, Oh my gosh, how cute are these? I just think these are so adorable. And then I am going to bring in my stickles. I put stickles on the cuffs and the boots of my polka dot one, and I'll do the same to our striped figgy pudding. And that finishes my card today. Isn't it just adorable? I just think figgy puddings are so cute. I'll leave the links down below if you want to check out the Spellbinders Dancin Christmas collection. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.